what is that?
And I was like, I don't know. I've just had coffee and I'm riffing.
And then I was just kind of like, okay. And you were like, oh, you hate it. And I'm like, I don't even know what it is that I'm not, like, I don't even know what it is. So it was another week of kind of marketing and meetings and stuff, not so much in Unity or in Blender making stuff. It was
I feel like I can't remember the last time I worked on the game.
yeah. So it started off, we were doing interviews at the Powerhouse for the World Pride exhibit.
Yes.
We were very kind of anxious about it because we don't do that kind of thing really, and it was very new, but it was really fun. What was next? We were kind of talking about the script, meant to be working on the script for the trailer and getting that done because we want a trailer out for Halloween, which we said before, and we've kind of been back and forthing about what that's going to be, and so we were meant to be writing a script each for that. So I managed to get a script done, so it's 60 seconds approximately, just based on real estate videos that I'd found online for apartments. So with the real estate agent kind of running you through the place, often questionable, like rundown places, but trying to have that gloss.
Talk it up.
Talk it up.
And I wanted to do a TVSN, like shopping channel ad with her and a host lady in it. But I didn't even put pencil to paper. Like I got nowhere with that. Just had nothing.
Yeah. So yeah, and then we were talking about that the next day because you quite enjoyed the script that I'd written. But
absolutely, it was really great.
Yeah, but then you were concerned about feasibility of getting it done in time for October.
Yeah, and our October is quite busy.
It is. You're going away. We've got Games Week in Melbourne next week, so it's a busy period, and it does involve a bit of a build and specific shots and things like that. I thought I had a bit of a cheaper version, like an easier version.
It was easier than really my TVSN option, for sure. It was definitely easier than that. But yeah, upon reading it, I was like, this is really great. I think that maybe this should be a first full trailer or a second trailer as opposed to the reveal trailer that I think we need to scale down to ensure that we get it done in time for Halloween. And so I was like, so what if it was just Janet just giving a selfie and riffing about something? Just something, just like a character riff, nothing.
Yeah, and we were going to Brisbane in 2 days after that to have the recording with the actor who's playing Janet Demorny, Ryan Harrison, and I was kind of like, okay, but what is that?
And I was like, I don't know. I've just had coffee and I'm riffing.
And then I was just kind of like, okay, and you were like, oh, you hate it. And I'm like, I don't even know what it is that I'm not, like, I don't even know what it is. So we had another, and we've had this before where I'm not immediately like responsive and into the idea because I need time to process or know more, and we kind of have this.
If you think of that image where someone says, oh yeah, I feel like they're really picking up what I'm putting down, there's been a little trend lately of me putting things on the table and we both just stare at them.
Yes, and that was on the Thursday that was the public holiday for the Queen's death, and we were so tired, and we had started the walk being like, oh great, let's not like talk about this because we're both tired and we might have a back and forth, and that happened anyway. The thing happened. So you took the afternoon off, and I was kind of thinking about it, and I was like, okay, yeah, no, I do need to bring more to that kind of situation. I don't think I'm ever going to be as good at the back and forth and banter as you are, because even when we're doing commercial work, you're very much like someone can suggest something, you're like, oh yeah, that's great, and what about this, but what about that, and you find the problems and also the improvements and all that kind of thing. I'm not that kind of
I riff on the fly with great enthusiasm. I enjoy that bounce.
Yeah, and
it's kind of a bit of one of my things.
Yeah, absolutely. You're really good at it, and I'm never going to be that good. That's okay. I can work on it.
It is okay.
To think about something and come back to you, because I went away and I'm like, okay, I'm going to take Pete's idea, and what is it? How do I make that work? How does that happen?
You really did all the hard work for it. I was like, what if she says something and it's funny. And you were like, I've written a thing. Is this what you meant?
She's speaking.
And it's funny. Yeah, you did all the hard work. And it was fabulous. It was really, really good.
So that was a nice turnaround. Even it wasn't serious. It was just another one of those like, okay, we need to really work on this and find a way of negotiating this tension that we have around different approaches to sharing ideas and problem solving.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is the same reason why I've never wanted to get a job in a big studio is also my like creative ego of wanting to be able to see explicitly my thumbprint on literally everything. And that's certainly something that I need to work harder at not being such a little bitch about, really. Yeah, because I also think that during Queer Men Peering, there was a lot of times where we'd riff on something and then I'd come home and write it. And then there was a few times, particularly tired, you know, that horrible stuff where I'm like, why am I the one always ending up? We both agree we have to do the dialogue, but I'm writing it again. Oh. And yet suddenly when you're writing it, I'm like, why aren't I writing it? Like that's an impossible situation, and that's really, really shitty. So progress will be made.
Yeah, and I think it was really nice because we flew to Brisbane on Friday to hang out with Ryan Harrison, who's a very old friend of ours, very close friend.
And what makes it so perfect is Ryan, the house in which this is set, Ryan lived there as well with us and before both of us.
No, he lived there. I lived there for a while. I went away, but he moved in. He moved in after me. I got him in there, and he stayed when I left.
And then we all moved back in.
We did.
Yeah. So it's very special to not only finally be able to work with him, but also on this project, which is set in the house that we all love and have trauma from.
Yes. So that was great because we hadn't seen him for a few months. So we just got to hang out, talk about the game. Because I think when we spoke to him on the phone a few weeks ago, he was a bit overwhelmed by.
I think we thought that we'd already described it to him, and we hadn't. So then we just like info dumped all of our aesthetic ideas.
Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah.
Too much all at once over the phone. So yeah, it was good to work it through. And then to get back to collaborating and things like that, when we finally got around to doing the record on the Monday, it was so great because it was just the three of us in the room, kind of all riffing and doing little bits and pieces. And it was really nice. Because I've never done that I've never directed a voice record.
Normally when anytime I've directed voice records before, I'm like, just please make it work. I've got other things to think about. But this is such a joy of a character. And I'm so invested in every aspect of it that I certainly had that energy to give those little notes. Not that he needed a lot, because he gets it.
No.
He absolutely knows this.
It was so good, and he'd done so much work on the accent and that kind of stuff that we just kind of were like, oh yeah, sounds pretty okay. But he's he's very particular about that, which I love. So yeah, it was just a good time, and we went away feeling really energized and motivated, and also nice to see it moving in different ways as well, unexpected ways from having those outside energies come in and being like, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, the life that comes from more creative energies, external.
Yeah, and I think a part of it for me is like when I sat down with that idea that you had, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to take this idea and I'm going to work with it. I'm really going to focus, and it's really nice. I don't know, something just clicked in my mind where I'm like, no, you have to deal with this. It's just a problem, not a problem, but it's like it's a challenge. You have to solve it.
Yeah.
Solve it. Like, shut up, put your ego aside. It's a thing to be done.
Yeah, that's nice.
And it's really nice because then you're like, yes. It starts opening up, for me anyway, it really starts opening up possibilities that you closed yourself off to.
We discovered merchandising.
And we got some business cards made too.
Oh yeah. For Melbourne International Games Week,